What's up, guys? Got another UFC video here today. It's going to be on the UFC on Fox 22 card, VanZant versus Waterson. And you can see there's the card right here. Co-main event, we got northcutt and gall. Main card, you got also Faber and Pickett, and then jouban versus Perry. But this video is going to be all about the Fight Pass prelims. So let's go ahead and get started here. So first fight of the night, we got Bojan versus Sultan. We got Sultan coming off a really long layoff. He last fought, I think, in January something 2015. So pretty much January 2015. So that's like almost 2 years right there. Bojan fought not too long ago against Michael Graves. Fight ended up being a draw, but some people thought Graves won. And then his fight before that against what's his name, Chirico or something like that, Alexio Chirico or something like that. He won the fight, but some people thought that Chirico could have won the fight. It was like a split. It should have been a split decision type of fight, but it ended up being unanimous for Bojan. So, anyways, Bojan's in close fights, but Sultan has this ring rust. So I mean, it's kind of hard fight to pick. I think they got Bojan as a favorite. I think he's the favorite because he's been the active fighter, and you know he hasn't been looking horrible, but you know he's not exactly the best fighter. Sultan, you know this guy's, well, he's coming off a knockout loss and he has a long layoff, so that makes it even worse. But it's been a while, so obviously his chin probably recovered. But I'm gonna go ahead and pick Sultan here, guys. Reason I'm gonna pick him is I think the wrestling here is gonna pose a problem for Bojan. I think Sultan here should be strong enough to hold Bojan up against the cage, work for those takedowns, and Bojan doesn't really seem to have any power, so it's gonna be hard to knock out Sultan. I know Sultan's coming off the long layoff, so that's obviously an issue there, but I just think Sultan should be able to come out with a win here. I think Bojan should kind of be probably 0-2 in the UFC, but instead he's, you know, he's not 1-1 because that fight was a draw, so he's like 1-0-1. Anyways, yeah, I think Sultan should be able to get the win here, guys. I think his wrestling's gonna pretty much lead him to victory here, and I think Sultan either wins by decision or maybe he could get like a late knockout. Sultan seems to have some power in those hands, so you never know. You know, if he lands some good power shots. Yeah, I just don't see Bojan being too much of a threat here. His takedown defense isn't too good. His striking it seems decent, but he doesn't have any power behind it. Yeah, I think Sultan should be able to get the win here. So Sultan by decision. Next fight, Hector Sandoval versus Freddie Serrano. Serrano's coming off that loss to Ryan Benoit. Some people maybe thought that Serrano should have won. It was a split decision win, I'm pretty sure. Sandoval, this guy's kind of new to the UFC. His debut in the UFC was against Wilson Hayes, and Wilson Hayes starched him in that first round with a first round submission. But you know, he's just a way higher level opponent. So we got Serrano, who's a, you know, I want to say he's an Olympic wrestler. I think he was. Pretty much is a really high level wrestler. Sandoval is also a decent wrestler. That's pretty much his background. So Serrano here obviously has the advantage in the wrestling, and in the striking, I actually like Serrano's striking also. I think Sandoval just has kind of like basic striking, like looping punches and stuff like that. I like Serrano's explosiveness on the feet. Also has some very good kicks that he showcased in that Ryan Benoit fight. You know, I was kind of impressed with his striking. It looked like he really improved the striking. So yeah, I like Freddie Serrano in this fight, and the odds look to be pretty good. He's actually the underdog there, so yeah, I don't really think that should be the case here. I think Serrano's going to be too explosive, and he should be able to take down Sandoval whenever he wants to. The only thing I don't like is Serrano's output. I think he needs to land more strikes, so you know he could maybe lose a close fight decision, but I think Freddie Serrano here should be able to get it done with his explosive takedowns and improved striking. So Serrano by decision. And the featured fight on the Fight Pass prelims, we got two veterans. We got Eddie Wineland versus Takeya Mizugaki. Wineland's coming off an impressive win over Frankie Sains. Mizugaki's coming off a knockout loss to Cody Garbrandt. Obviously, Cody's knocking everybody out. Mizugaki, he doesn't get knocked out often, so yeah, for him to get knocked out in the first, I mean, obviously Cody got that power. So now he's fighting another good power puncher and Eddie Wineland, who's also a good boxer. Mizugaki could take down the fence, so is Wineland. I don't see this fight really going to the ground unless, you know, Mizugaki tries to take it to the ground. He has some underrated wrestling, but I just think Wineland's taking the fence is too good. And on the feet, Takeya has some good striking, but no power, so he shouldn't be able to hurt Wineland. But also, I think Wineland here should have the better boxing and the better power for sure. So, I think in this fight here, I think it's should be Eddie's fight here. I mean, Takeya's coming off a knockout loss, so he's susceptible to the knockout, and that was like in August, so not even that long ago, only like 4 months. So I mean, you know, he hasn't really fully recovered, I would think. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick Eddie Wineland here, guys. He looked good in his last fight, but sometimes with Eddie Wineland, you just never know if he's gonna look that good again. You know, it's like he's hit and miss. So yeah, I'll take Eddie Wineland here. I think he should be able to win by, you know what, I'm not gonna say by knockout, because I mean, could happen, but you never know. Mizugaki could have just got caught bad with Garbrandt, and sometimes Eddie Wineland, you know, isn't super active on the feet sometimes. So you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and say it's gonna be a late knockout. So I'll go ahead and say Eddie Wineland, 3rd round knockout, guys. So that's gonna be my pick. Alright, guys, so that's it for my picks here for the Fight Pass prelims. To recap, I got Sultan by decision, Serrano by decision, and Eddie Wineland not by decision, but Eddie Wineland by 3rd round knockout. And for my confidence here for the Sultan fight, I'm not super confident, so I'm gonna go ahead and say out of 5, I'm probably like a 3, maybe even a 2, 2.5, maybe a 2.5 out of 5. Let's just say that. And for the Serrano fight, I'm like 4 out of 5 confident, and for the Wineland fight, I'm like 4 out of 5 confident also. So I'm more confident in Wineland and Serrano winning than Olive winning also. So anyways, that's gonna be it, guys, for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you guys think about these Fight Pass picks. Let me know who you guys got. But yeah, stay tuned. I'll be making a video soon on the FS1 prelims and on the main card. So that's gonna be it, guys. Stay tuned and catch you guys on the next one.